what's up? It's Joe Reedy from Reedy's Rides. We're back here at Dream Giveaway Garage, and guess what? I have a dream car definitely for you. It's this vehicle right here. This is it. This is a 2026 updated C8 Corvette, this being a Stingray with the Z51 performance package. But before we get into this torch red America's true sports car, let's talk about what's going on here. So the C8 Corvette, it's been a sales sensation ever since 2020 with the introduction of the Stingray. Then they came out with the convertible, the Z06, the E-Ray, the ZR1, the ZR1X, and the return of the upcoming Grand Sport. It's been hit after hit after hit. Now, when it comes to a mid-engine sports car, usually the price figure goes astronomical. With the C8 Stingray, it's been all about bringing even more value than what the Corvette has brought even from before. Going back to 1953, 8 different generations. But what I want to find out is if you're looking for a V8 performance car and you don't want to break the bank and you want something that has that exotic mid-engine look, is this the way to go with this particular Stingray Z51? Why don't we go ahead, let's dive into this one and see if we can find out. Right off the bat, Prince was right. There's nothing like a little red Corvette, and it looks spectacular on the Stingray. Now, at the front of the business, you'll see that same great headlight design that they've been running since the birth of the C8. Those super-sized corner air intakes with our heat exchangers, the carbon flash metallic. And remember, because this does have the Z51 performance package, you do get that additional splitter, which is flat black. Now, as we come across that low slung nose, you have your cross flags, the checker flag, the Chevy bow tie flag, carbon flash metallic with the functional vents that are inward. And this particular Z51 equipped Stingray is a 2LT. You got 1LT, 2LT, and then the top 3LT. This particular one right in the center, 2LT. It also does have the optional front axle lift as well, so that you don't scrape any of this front end pulling into driveways and stuff. But let me know what you think about the front of the 2026 Z51 Stingray. And while you're doing that in the comment section, we're going to continue rising on up. Love how they've kept the stealth fighter look. It's going to be interesting to see where the next generation Corvette takes us, the 9th generation. And it will be interesting to see when they eventually do that. Because this being a C8 started in 2020, we're now 6 years in. What's the longest running generation? It's actually the 3rd generation, C3. Goes from 1968 all the way to 1982. That's a long amount of time. Now, as we come around the bend, what are we working with? Wheel and tire. When you go Z51, you're getting these forged aluminum wheels. Love the nice Y-spoke design. You have your bigger caliper, 6-piston Brembo caliper with the Z51 badge, larger rotors, and then you have that staggered wheel setup. 19-inch wheel up front, 20-inch wheel out back. You're also getting on this the optional magnetic ride suspension, the upgraded magnetic ride suspension for 2026. That's going to read the road every single nanosecond to give you the perfect amount of compression and rebound on the suspension setup to allow you to really carve through the twisty bits just like you carve through a Thanksgiving Day turkey. But let me know what you think about the black, gloss black wheel with the torch red. I think it looks great, and I like the way they've gone in a better direction in their wheels. When they first came out with the Stingray, I'll be honest with you, with the C8 Stingray, the wheels were not very nicely designed. I didn't like any of them. This I could definitely live with. They're wrapped with the Pilot Sport 4S tires. And if you're wondering, well, Joe, what is the size of this tire? You're looking at 245 on the width and 35 series on the sidewall. Let's continue. Down the side, you do have your carbon flash metallic. And from the side of the vehicle, you can see that this is a coupe. What does that mean? That means we have our center removable Targa roof. Now this one has something all new. It's an electrochromatic section of the roof. So you have your torch red, you have your carbon flash metallic, but then you have this center section, which I'll show you from the inside. Tap of a button goes opaque or goes clear. That's new for 2026. Flat black on our side sill extension. I like the red and black color combination because you got your carbon flash metallic, those super size side air intakes. My big zonk is this right here. That's a lot of gloss black. I wish they would paint it a different color or something. Too much gloss black. That's going to get a lot of swirl marks. Coming towards the rear, like I said, this is a 20-inch wheel. So you got 20 inches in diameter. Tires are going to be 305 on the width, 30 series sidewall. You still have your Brembo calipers out back, and you have an electronic limited slip diff to get the power to the ground, because remember, the only two Corvettes that are all-wheel drive is the E-Ray and the ZR1X. But definitely like the way you got more rubber to meet the road to get that awesome launch. Now as we swing around back, thank God they changed this. So on the original C8 Stingray, the Z51 package gave you this like weird double basket holder handle wing. It looked ridiculous. This is a proper rear wing, nice pedestal style. It's got your end plates and really has an aggressive look, but it's also functional as well, of course. Up top, we have our glass window where you get to see that LT2 V8. You got your functional heat extractors on the side. The problem with that is when it rains, water goes in those openings. So that is a challenge. Now, dropping on down, you're gonna get your optional gloss black tips with the GM Performance exhaust. Make it louder, make it quieter. And then that diffuser looks spectacular. The carbon flash metallic with our honeycomb wire mesh finish. And I like on this Stingray, I'm fine with the dual outlet exhaust, 2 on each side. But why don't we go ahead, let's pop this rear hatch and check out the V8. All right guys, we got that rear hatch open. Deep within the heart of this thing, right in the center, that mid-engine, that's that LT2 V8, 6.2 liter, naturally aspirated V8. I like the optional red intake cover and the valve covers. You got the dress-up kit with the carbon fiber. And what are we looking at power-wise? Because this is a Z51 equipped Stingray, you get 5 extra horsepower. It's 495 horsepower, 470 pound-feet of torque. It is still bolted to one transmission only, 8-speed dual clutch transmission made by Tremec. 495 horsepower, like I said. That's gonna give you 0 to 60 in a mind-blowing 2.9 seconds. Top speed around 190 miles an hour, and the vehicle weighs right around 3,535 pounds. MPGs, 16 in the city, 25 on the highway. And yes, you could put your golf clubs in here. It's the last thing I ever thought anybody would think of when buying a sports car is, where do I put my golf clubs? But why don't we go ahead, if you're ready, I think this Stingray is ready. Let's fire it up and hear what it sounds like. All right, guys, we are inside this 2026 C8 Corvette Stingray. I know you're saying to yourself, well, Joe, how much is this thing? Because I have always wanted a Corvette. I adore the mid-engine Corvette. I'm happy they went that direction. How much is it? So the starting price for a Stingray is a little over $60,000. That's for a base 1LT. This one being a 2LT Z51 performance package, things like the electrochromatic roof panel, brings the MSRP to right around $100,000. Quite a bit of money, but still a bargain when you compare it to a McLaren, a Ferrari, a Porsche, any of those, plus some. But let's see how this one is really spec'd on the interior. To the door panels, I love the red and black. The red contrast stitching, the bright red leather. You do have the blackout package in here with your dark aluminum Bose speaker grill cover, the dark aluminum trim around the switch gear. Door pocket is decent. You could probably get 3 Costco hot dogs in there, and that's about it. But nice on the materials. Going from the door panel to the dash, same thing. The stitching really on needle point. You got your new oh crap handle for your passenger, because remember, there's no longer that big wall of buttons. And on the side here, you'll see all the nice soft touch that you have. Slide on in, all new infotainment system. That's a 14-inch infotainment system, all touchscreen. You have the usual apps. This one does have the optional performance data recorder. You can go into your performance gauges. That's new for 2026, a G meter. You can find out where the G spot is. Real easy. Everything all by the touch of a button. So nice to have all that information easily accessible. This has heated seats, ventilated seats, which is really nice. You got your AC controls. Everything is in the screen for the most part. Let me throw it into reverse. Backup camera, super clear as always. You do have your trajectory, which is nice. And then when you go into your modes, check out the graphics. Look at this, like a freaking video game. Look at that, wow. So all new graphics for all the different modes, including track. They got you covered there. And then of course Z mode, and you can make your adjustments however you want to set up your preferences, which is really nice. Real volume knob. Show the gauges. There's your switch gear for your Tremec, 8-speed. You got wireless charging. That's a wireless charging pad right there. 2 cup holders. This is your new mode selector switch. And then here is your Corvette key fob as always with the remote start. Soft touch. The sad news is you can't open it for the passenger. You could only open this up for the driver. It's got a USB-C, a USB-A, and enough room in here to where you could put a Game Boy. So you could actually have a Game Boy in your C8 Corvette. I know a lot of people are worried about where to put their golf clubs. If you're worried, where can you put your Game Boy? Right there. You also have wireless charging in the center here. Love the Stingray name badge. And then the two-tone on the seats. The black leather, the red stitching. Look at the carbon fiber. Obviously, red seat belt worth an extra 5 horsepower. And you have all your power seat controls. Now, for the electrochromatic roof, the buttons are right here on the back portion of the roof. And you're just going to hit the button, and then that eventually makes a change. It's weird because it's actually kind of slow when it's going opaque and when it's going back to clear. So kind of weird there. And then of course you do have a digital rearview mirror, which is nice. But why don't you come over here to the business end? I want to show you behind the wheel in the C8. All right guys, business time behind the wheel. Of course you got your aluminum sill plate with the Stingray name. Pedal box right out of a race car. Nice aluminum dead pedal, brake pedal, and throttle. Seat controls are easy to get to. I'm 6 feet tall, and Chevrolet does a great job with packaging this so that people of all sizes can fit nicely. Steering wheel, the leather, the red top dead center, all the beautiful red stitching, flat black on most of the switch gear instead of your Z mode that is aluminum. You have massive metal paddles to go up and down that 8-speed dual clutch. It is a power tilting and telescoping wheel, and you do have a 6-inch display on the side here where you could access things like air pressure, your different gauges, the G meter. So that's kind of cool the way you can have that easy access. And then you have a 12.7-inch digital gauge cluster that has also been updated and is new. You can see, depending on what mode you're in, it's going to make adjustments to what the screen looks like. So nice clear graphics, fonts, and you got a head-up display in this one, which is really awesome. Now, there is a frunk. You can put some stuff in there, but I don't care about that. What I care about is if you're ready, I'm ready. Let's go on throttle in this C8. All right, guys, we're behind the wheel of this 2026 C8 Stingray. I have it in full Zora mode. I have it in manual shift. I'm gonna use those big surfboard paddles behind the wheel, and we're gonna start off with some launch control. Left foot on the brake, right foot on throttle. On throttle, here we go! Right away, you just feel how fine-tuned this Stingray is. I love all the new graphics on the dash, on the infotainment system, on the head-up display. Really allows you to know exactly what's going on while you're going on throttle. Of course, we got that LT2 right over my shoulder, that naturally aspirated 6.2 liter V8. I just wish they would make one of these with a manual. On throttle! I mean, this car is such a performer. It just really shows you how strong of a foundation the C8 Corvette generation truly is, because it just gets crazier from here. Whether you're doing Z06, ZR1, E-Ray, this is where you start, and this is plenty. Obviously, the Tremec 6-speed, very fast shifts, whether you're going up or down the gears. And for a smaller sports car, it's got great visibility. Love the sound of that V8 though. The Z51 performance package is worth the money. You want to get that because it's going to allow you to get things like the magnetic ride suspension. It's going to allow you to have the larger brakes, the stickier tires, all those different things that just helps transform the Corvette to that next level. But it really is a car that communicates to you very, very well. I mean, the Corvette has always been that value price leader when it comes to sports cars and everything. With the C8, it's even more so. Because like I said, 0 to 60 in 2.9 seconds for the entry model, that's crazy. And this Stingray has more of the traditional sound that most Corvette fans know and love, that push-rod V8 sound. You know, the Z06 takes a little bit of getting used to if you're not used to that exotic high-revving engine. Especially where the torque delivery is. With this car, the torque delivery is just so linear, and it comes in at such a low RPM and pulls all the way through the rev range. All the controls are easy to get to. I love that new addition of the 6-inch touchscreen on the driver's side of the dash. It's got all the important information, which is really nice. You got all the great new gauges and information on the center infotainment system, that 14-inch display. We gotta go on throttle one more time. You ready? Second gear. On throttle, here we go! I really like the way the tachometer changes color as you get closer to the red line. But it's just so balanced. this has been a good overall review of this new C8 Stingray with the new interior and new options. We're gonna get back to Dream Giveaway Garage and wrap this one up. So I'll see you in a split second. All right, guys, always a great day here at Dream Giveaway Garage. Definitely gotta thank Lori, Chris, Ryan, the whole crew, getting us access to this 2026 C8 Stingray LT2 equipped, of course, with the 2LT package and the Z51 performance package. But let me know what you think. For the money, is this the best way to go if you want V8 power, you want performance, you want technology? Let me know in that comment section. But if you're new to the channel, you're on your way out, hit that subscribe button. I promise you it's worthwhile. Come back for more. If you are a subscriber, thank you for being part of the Razor Face family. Gotta get up to Stephen Flood, working hard as always. Thank you, Stephen, for everything. And just like always, guys, I'll see you on the next ride.